This is Prime Crime Network.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The family of retired firefighter Dwayne Williams walked solemnly through the Layton Criminal Courthouse on the first day of his alleged killer's trial. The 65-year-old Williams was a retired lieutenant with the Chicago Fire Department, who was just about to go back to work for the city at the Office of Emergency Management. In December 2020, Williams was walking out of a popcorn shop at 117th and Western when four young men jumped out of a car and tried to carjack his red Jeep. Williams had a concealed carry permit, pulled out his gun. Multiple shots were exchanged, and Williams was shot in the abdomen and later died. Now standing trial for his murder are Devin Barron, Dwayne Johnson, and Jalen Salisbury, each charged with first-degree homicide. And this is the star witness for prosecutors, 18-year-old David Williams, who was part of that carjacking crew but was charged as a juvenile and agreed to testify against the others after serving 6 months in a juvenile detention center. But defense attorneys for the three defendants slammed Williams during cross-examination.
Well, I refer to him as a thug. He's self-admitted car thief since the age of 15.
David Sotomayor represents defendant Salisbury and questions whether the star witness Williams can even remember what happened.
He's also admitted that he was high on ecstasy during the period of time of the commission of this crime. So it's my position that he was given a great offer to come by and testify falsely against my client.
A now former Rockdale County deputy is in jail accused of shooting and killing her boyfriend. She faces murder and stalking charges. Police say Jova Jackson resigned the end of May. She'd been with the department since 2015. Just days after signing her resignation, police say she shot and killed her boyfriend. He was also the father of her unborn child.
Exclusive.
Two DC firefighters are now facing charges after a street brawl caught on camera. It happened back in April in Northwest DC, and the video has since gone viral.
Yeah, within the last 5 minutes here, we've just learned that those two firefighters are going to be turning themselves into the 1st District Police Station at 7 o'clock this morning in less than an hour. Let's go ahead and show you that video from that fight that happened back in April, nearly 2 months ago. This was on Florida Avenue in North Capitol. Here's what was going on here. First responders were trying to get to a man who was climbing under a Metro bus. So, and our photojournalist was there. He saw that man punch a firefighter in the face. That's what started this entire brawl between the man and firefighters. Now, assault charges against that man have been dropped, but 6 firefighters were placed on administrative leave. And now we know 2 of them have been charged, and they will be turning themselves in less than an hour. So we're actually going to wrap this up and head over to the police station this morning so we can be there for that. We'll keep you posted on the very latest and to figure out exactly what charges they're going to be facing.
Prime Crime Network.
So Ethan Washburn is accused of beating his little brother over the span of 3 years. The same 10-year-old, police say, was being severely starved by his parents, Krista and Tyler Shinley, who are also charged in this case. Authorities say the child was locked in his room for days at a time without food, water, and access to a toilet. The Spalding County Sheriff's District Attorney described the child as being on the brink of death.
First tonight, a
Prime Crime Network.
exclusive.
This is a picture of the crowds that were gathered in the streets last night. Luckily, much of this large crowd had dispersed by the time this shooting happened. But Denver police do say this shooting happened in one of the main areas that people were celebrating in. And the Denver Police Department tweeted this, saying 9 people were shot and 3 of the victims are in critical condition. The suspect is in custody, but has a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. And now we're going to take a live look at the Denver Nuggets Stadium right now as police continue their investigation. This stadium is less than a mile from where the shooting happened. And investigators say at this point they believe this all started as an argument or some kind of a fight involving several people.
Prime Crime Network.
Delisha Taylor surrendered to Metro today after police say she physically assaulted 3 hospital staff on June 1st. She has bond hearings on Wednesday.
First tonight, a
Prime Crime Network.
exclusive.
79-year-old Frankie Veranagayo is in the Harris County Jail, charged with murder, accused of shooting and killing his neighbor.
It's a cry for help. I want justice to be served.
Jaime Hernandez's sister, who did not want to come out on camera in fear of retaliation, tells ABC 13 her brother was kind-hearted and lived with their parents in a home on Kirkland Drive and helped them.
I'm in horrible pain. I just wish that my brother was still here. And you guys will not imagine how much I've cried for him.
Police say on Sunday morning, Jaime and murder suspect Frankie Vernagallo had a disagreement over Jaime's dog, and Vernagallo is accused of shooting Jaime in the chest and killing him out in the front yard.
This was an issue that, my brother always avoided. He would let him scream at him and harass him and say all these things, and he would just keep walking with his dog, but I feel like Frank planned this.
Only 2 people know exactly what happened, and one of them, unfortunately, is no longer here to share his side. Jaime's family says this neighbor feud has been going on since they moved in nearly 2 decades ago.
You always just found a reason to harass them, to do things to their property, to step over here and with a gun and try to, you would come out with a little vest that said police department, intimidating them.
According to Harris County court records from 20 years ago, Vernagallo was once employed as a deputy by Precinct 2 before he was ultimately terminated for allegations of wrongdoing and his treatment of citizens, co-workers, and others. The Hernandez family tonight says they want him to be held accountable for his action.
First tonight, a
Crime Network
exclusive.
A warning to women in the OC after a disturbing assault is caught on camera near the campus of UC Irvine. You can see the man in shorts. He's acting like he's out for a walk, but police say he was actually stalking a woman who was doing exercise laps in a deserted parking lot in the area of Scholarship and Graduate. When she turns, so does he. And moments later, he races up behind her, grabbing her, groping her. That man then runs off to his waiting car. Irvine police say he was driving an older model white Nissan Sentra with a rear spoiler. Detectives want you to take a good look at this image of the man who appears to be in his 20s, about 5'10", with reddish-brown hair. If you know who this is, you are urged to call Irvine police.
First tonight, a
Crime Network
exclusive.
Mother's Day 2022. By no means a Hallmark holiday for Clark County District Court Judge Jasmine Lily Spells, whose tussle with her husband, seen here on his cell phone video, obtained exclusively by 8 News Now,
I need my PlayStation back. You just
got so out of hand,
I don't have any.
she ended up being charged with misdemeanor domestic battery and heading off to spend the night in jail.
Down there. You just slammed my.
Here's an unedited portion of that altercation,
Look at my other PlayStation.
where you can see Judge Lily Spells making a move toward her husband.
Just stab me. You're trying to stab me. Get off me, please. Get off me. Get my back hurts.
The Henderson police report says that Lily Spells went after her husband and his 2 PlayStations with this yellow and black screwdriver.
Why was she mad at your PlayStation then?
But pictures from the scene show one PlayStation intact and the other was hard to find.
I don't know if it might be under the pile of clothing.
Lily Spells would not cooperate with the police investigation and told the cops she didn't want her husband in the house.
I own the home and I'm not consenting to any entry into my home.
All the while, police detaining both Lily Spells and her husband of 13 years. As day turned into night.
All rise. Comments right there, down session.
But before long,
Jasmine Liz Spells beside.
Judge Lily Spells was back behind the bench,
Sir, what is your true full name?
presiding over criminal cases.
Have you gone over a copy of the information charging you with battery constituting domestic violence?
Of defendants charged with crimes quite similar to the domestic violence charge against her.
How do you plead to this charge?
That defendant said he wants to take his case to trial. As for Judge Lily Spells, she had her case here at Henderson Municipal Court honorably discharged after she completed community service and anger management counseling. But that might not be the end of the story.
It's certainly possible that there could be more fallout.
Professor Benjamin Edwards teaches ethics to law students at UNLV.
Ultimately, judges are people too. And the kinds of problems ordinary people have in their personal lives, some judges will will encounter difficulties there as well.
Take the case of attorney Anthony Abitangelo. He was elected judge at Las Vegas Justice Court in 1993, and a misdemeanor domestic violence conviction in 2009 led to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline penalizing him, and he had to agree not to run for judge for another 4 years. He's in private practice today. The commission wouldn't confirm or deny an investigation into Judge Lily Spells, but told the 8 News Now investigators that in general that process can take up to a year and a half.
I'd say it's fairly unusual.
So unusual, the Henderson police couldn't stop talking about it the night of the arrest.
But the alleged suspect is a judge for the district court out in Vegas. I don't know if you want to come out.
I've never been to a judge's house in my life. I don't know what the hell is going on. Is this your first time going to like get officials? House? Yeah, I've never even seen one before.
The police had no choice but to arrest Lily Spells if, according to Nevada state statute, they think a battery was committed. And testimony and this cell phone video convinced them.
Don't touch me, oh my gosh.
Even despite.
Do you have any injuries on you at all?
No.
The wheels of justice took this judge to jail, possibly putting her position as judge in jeopardy.
Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell. And check us out on PrimeCrimeNetwork.com.